Okay, so far we have seen the theory part where we looked into the what is Docker, what is the architecture of Docker, which is very important
Mm,
in terms of which component of Docker we call it as brain of Docker,
mm.
Docker daemon. Okay, remember?
Yeah.
So let's go. You can implement Docker both in Windows, on Windows, Linux, and Mac OS all. Okay. So if I'll
Mm,
show you quickly, download Docker, install Docker. So to run the Docker, you required for Windows they provide a UI, and that is known as the Docker desktop.
mm,
And for Linux and Mac OS, Linux, here it is Linux. So if I want to run on Red Hat, click on Red Hat. And these are the couple of commands that you need to run on your Linux server. Okay, just run all these things and it will be installed. Okay, in the end, you just do sudo dnf install docker.rpm. So if I just want to check, I'll just type docker, press enter, or docker hyphen v. It's showing short v. So it's showing the version of Docker. Okay, which means Docker is already installed in my machine. Okay.
mm.
Same in case of Windows, if you want to go for it, just install the Docker desktop. Okay, which looks like this one, Docker desktop. So simply go to Windows and you have this Docker
Mm.
desktop for Windows. Just click on this one and it will get installed in the system.
Okay.
Okay. And that's all. Is there any other further notes? Nope. And you can run the exe like this one in your PowerShell from your PowerShell. After
Mm,
downloading Docker desktop, run the exe of the following terminal to install the Docker desktop. Okay, these are the and you use the PowerShell and do this process and this process. Okay, so
mm.
I have already Docker installed in my Windows too. If I just do Docker hyphen v, we can see the version 29.0.1. Got it?
Mm.
So we have this Docker installed on our system. Okay, what is after that? You should have your Docker hub profile created. Have you done this?
No.
Not yet. No worries. Just do it, okay? So that you'll
Mm.
be able to get the images from the Docker registry. Docker hub. So this is the Docker hub. Great. So tell me, which operating system should I use?
Uh,
So there is nothing difference. The same command, whatever I'll run in Linux, same command you will
mhm.
use for the Docker as well. Oh, sorry, for Windows as well. Okay, there is
Mm.
no difference in the command.
Okay.
Okay. So if I just type Docker images. So what is the meaning of images?
The images is like a package
A package of what?
uh, of the data.
Of your application,
Yes,
right? Of
application.
your code, source code.
Yes.
Okay. Let's do it. The same thing you can do in Linux. I want to do it on Windows. Why? Because you can see, visualize everything over here too.
Oh.
Okay. That will be helpful. You can see these many images I'm having. So what if I want to see these images? Same thing. I'll just do Docker and images and click enter. See all the images I can see. Okay. along with that their image ID and how much space they are taking, isn't
Mm.
it? Okay.
Yes.
Then if I want to see how many containers are running, Docker ps-a. Only if you write the Docker ps, it will show how many running containers are there. So you can see there is not a single running container on your system. So if I go
Mm-hmm.
on this Docker desktop and simply I check the images, there are a lot of images. But if I go to the container, see none of the
Mm-hmm.
container having the green light. So if green light is not there, it means it is not running. Okay,
Mm.
not in the running phase. If you want to run it, just click on this one and it start running from the UI. But if you want to run from this one, okay, I have the
Mm.
container and but not the running container. What if I want to check how many containers do I have? Okay, not the running one. I just want to check the status. How many containers do I have? So Docker ps-a. Hyphen a will show you how many containers you have in your system. But are these running? No, they existed 4 months ago. Means last time when they done, it was 4 months back.
Mm.
Got it?
Yes.
Any question?
No.
Great. Now, if anytime you have to remove any image, first remove the container of that image. Okay.
Mm.
So to remove any container, use Docker RM and the container ID. Okay. Suppose this one, this image, if I want to remove this container, I want to remove Docker RM plus enter. Now this one, which one I removed? AC, this part, clever care.
Mm.
Okay.
So
So
how do we know it's removed?
then check Docker ps-a. And you can see that image is, oh, mm, mm, mm. That container got removed. Do we have two containers of the same name? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that container is removed. Always remove the container with the container name, container ID, not with the container name. Okay. So that container name you cannot see anywhere, which was AC, start from the AC. Now,
Oh.
these names are basically very random names that whenever you create any container, Docker by themselves give it their name. If you define explicitly, that's good to go. But if you do not define, then Docker will provide its own name. And that could be anything like this one. This one was given by the Docker itself. Okay. Now, if I
Okay.
want to remove the image also, so I'll do Docker RMI. For Docker container to remove only RM, for Docker image to remove RMI and the image ID.
Oh.
Okay, so suppose which one? I don't want to remove anything. This one, suppose the third one, web app. Okay, web app 01. Enter, press it. Now error response conflict unable to detect and must be forced. So image is
Mm.
being used by the staff or core. So this images are already in existence. It is getting used by this container. This is the container of that image. So I need to first remove this image container. So what I'll do,
Mm.
I'll do Docker rm
And their name?
yep ID
Idea.
Docker rm and the ID of this one. Copy, paste, press enter. Now it got removed. If it does not show the error, it means it got removed. Now if I remove the image, press enter. Again, it is showing images being used. Okay, what is actually happening over here? You cannot remove any this one, any Docker container unless you stop it. So even though they are not running, they are neither stop. You need to forcefully stop it. Let's try this one. Docker. When I do ps-a, okay. So let's first try to stop. So this one, right? We are targeting
Mm.
this web app 01. So I'll do docker stop, doc stop, and then this is the container name ID. It got a stop, and then got docker. I
In which situation do we remove the containers and the image? So,
see a single image can have thousands of container. What does it mean? Every time when you run the Docker image, a new container will be running. Got it? If you want to run the
mm,
same one, you can do it Docker start the container ID. But if I just do Docker run and the image
mm,
name, automatically it will create another new container for the existing image. So
mm,
every time when an image is run using the command Docker run, a new container will be created.
no,
Okay. Mhm. Now, if I do Docker RMI, just do the up arrow and see it got deleted now.
mm,
So the first thing, every time before deleting any Docker container, use the Docker stop. So once it is stopped, then remove the container and then remove the image. Got
mm,
it?
yeah.
If you want to know any Docker image detail, just type Docker image and the image name.
Mm,
Suppose this image name, press enter, unknown command, Docker. Okay, yeah, for listing this one. If you want to know the detail, basically all the detail associated with the when you do the Docker images itself. So this command no longer will work. Just remove
mm,
this one. Docker images and press enter. All the detail you will see over here. Okay. There is no further detail inside it. Even if you go inside it, I want to check over this app, data project. I can go and see what is this layers, how many layers are there. Yeah,
mm.
this layers you will not see in the CLI. This layer you can
So
only see.
this is
I'll
like
come to,
n-
yeah.
not OSI layers, right?
No, no, these are not OSI layer. These are the layers for creating your application from Python. Okay,
Okay.
we'll come to this one. Okay. So far understood how to list image, how to delete image, how to list container, how to delete container, how to stop container. Got
Mm,
it?
yes.
Great. Now, if I want to create a simple, this one, if I want to take any image from the Docker Hub. Okay, suppose there's a image name as Hello World.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a Hello World image. Okay, I'll just click on this one. What I will do, this is the image, this is the image name. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so Hello World here is the image name, and whatever after colon is known as tag. Okay, what is the use of tag? To make it a unique one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'll just copy this one, or you can simply copy only the name. Okay, and then go over here to your console and to Docker pull basically pull the images. Okay, it'll pull the image and the image name. If you want to pull the latest one, do not provide. the tag name, remove the tag and press enter. Then it will pull the latest one. See the tag latest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But if you want to pull the any specific version, then in that case you print this one, nano server, put the tag and press
Mm-hmm.
enter. Then it will error response, no matching manifest, link aimed for the manifest entry, no matching platform manifest. So nothing found with this tag. Okay, but this tag is available in the server, so it should have. So we can see the latest one, latest tag, and there is no other further tag mentioned over here. So you can see simple output is Docker run and the hello world itself. And that's it. The tag is not working for this one. No worries. Okay, so to pull any image from the Docker Hub, just use the command docker pull. Okay. Now, if I want to check this image, I'll do Docker image. And we pulled the hello world latest, this one, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is image right now. If I go over here and go back, go to images. So where is the hello world? Here it is, hello world latest. Okay. But this is it the latest one that we pulled up? Yep, this is the latest one. It was created 4 months back, but
Mm.
we just pulled it. Okay. But if you see, I'll go to the container. Is there any hello world running? No.
Mm, no.
So what happens if I run docker run and the image name? Okay. Hello world. Or even the ID will also work. Let's put the image name. You can type the tag or you may not print it. Now what it is saying, this message is from the installation update. So hello from the Docker. This was the output that we get. And these are the output associated with this hello world, whatever is written inside this one. But if I do the Docker ps-a, sorry, Docker ps only, so no running container is showing. But now your question should be, we just run a container, right?
Mm.
So why it is not showing in the container, means current running container? Why it is still empty? Here you can see the container run, but it run and exited in just 21 seconds.
Mm.
So for 21 seconds it run and then got exited. So this is the common thing that happened with the container. That container runs. Once it show you the output, it got exit automatically. That is the main job of container. But we want it to keep it running. Okay.
Okay.
We want that this should keep on running. So what we will do? So for that, you do
Mm.
docker -d. Okay, docker run -d. -d is basically detach mode. I'll tell you what is this detach mode. -d and the image name. If I use the image name, it will create another Docker ID. I mean this container ID. So press enter. Unable to find this image locally. Why it is unable to find? Did we miss something? Oh, it's a container ID, not the image one. Docker run is always comes with the image name or image ID. So this is our image, right? Now, this time we are getting the output as like this, right? Previously
Mm.
we got the output as a message, but this time we are getting the output like this. Now if I do docker ps only, oops, uh, it should show that this one is running. Let's go to the container. Is that strange? Mhm, mhm. That's in generally this does not happen because when you do -d, it should be running. Okay, we can do one more thing. Okay, to see
Mm-hmm.
the output. Mm, there is known as a -it or ext docker docker -it docker run -it and the image name. Enter. So it's showing this one. Okay.
Mm.
Now if I do docker ps, still it's not showing any running container.
Why?
Docker, why? Because it should show. When we run the detach mode, I'll tell you the meaning of detach mode. First, let's take this one too. -id -d and press enter. Now if I do docker ps, nope, why it is not showing the current one? That's strange. Docker. What is the use of docker -d? It runs the container in the background. Okay, and it does not
Mm.
let the container to exit. So ideally you should see the docker ps command over here,
Mm.
but okay, let's run it explicitly or forcefully. See, when it is dot, it is in use. You can directly see, right? If it is in use, hello world data, see these many, but why it is getting exited? So what I can do, we can check when it got exit. Docker ps-a exited 3 minutes ago. Hello world. Hello world. See, 3 times we run Docker run. So 3 or 4 times we might have run, and that's why 4 container got created. Okay, so every time when you run the Docker run of a single image, that many container will get created, and these are the automatically name they have been given by the Docker from the Docker side. Now I want to know why it is. So let's go over here. Let's run it explicitly, forcefully. Seems like my Docker is having some issue. Okay, let's do the same thing on the Ubuntu. So we have this one Ubuntu image, right? And if I do docker ps-a, we have this one container. Let's run docker run -d and the image ID. Okay. Now tell me what does it mean when I do docker run -d and the image ID?
Mm.
What is the meaning of this?
Which one?
When I do docker run -d and the image ID,
And
what will it will do?
mhm, it will show the image.
It will show the image, but as a container. Will it use
Yes.
the previous container or it will create a new container?
Uh, it will show the new container.
Yep. Every time when you run the Docker container, it will show the new image. So we got the
Mm.
ID. Now if I do Docker PS, mm, Why it is not running in the background? And if I do docker hyphen IT and the image name, so it will show the IT means interactive mode, basically the output of that one.
Hmm.
Docker run. We missed the run. Yeah, so this is the output. So if you ever want to see the output, let me show you with this. If I want to, this is my Windows one, right? Command prompt, you can see. And I want to do create a Linux one. I want to use
Hmm.
Ubuntu. Okay, so how will I do that one? So I know I have an image of Ubuntu in my system. Okay, if I do the Docker images, see, so in Ubuntu latest, okay, this image I'm having. So what I want to see, I want to work on Ubuntu, not on Windows. And I have
Mm-hmm.
this Ubuntu image. So if I do Docker and then hyphen IT and the image ID, press enter. See, now it is Ubuntu machine. So when you do ls, so if you ever fed up of using this Amazon one, you can use Docker to run your Ubuntu, but always use in the IT mode, interactive mode. Okay.
Hmm.
So this one, tell me any more command of just a trace route, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, trace route. It may not understand because trace route might not be installed. Sudo DNF Ubuntu it is not sudo apt install trace route command sudo is not found. So if we directly give the this the root user and this the host name. So this is the host name. When I do who am I root who is so couple of the networking command is not installed and it won't let why it is not letting me to install. Maybe I'll check why it is not letting to install. But this is how you run your Ubuntu machine if you want to run any
Mm-hmm.
Ubuntu image. So this will not put load or you do not require any virtual machine as well for running any operating system. What you just have to do, just go to the Docker Hub, search for whatever you want to run, whether it is Ubuntu. So see so many Docker images, so Ubuntu images, but always choose this one, Docker official image. Okay, these are built by the other people,
Hmm.
but the official one is this one. So if you want
Okay.
to get it, just open this one
So how to recognize this is the original one and this is third party?
by this one, official image, this
Okay.
tag, you will see Docker official image.
Okay.
Okay. Mm, got it. Let's do the next part. So, and if you want to go come out from this one too, just type exit, press enter, and you will come back to your Windows machine. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now let's understand how do we write Docker files, because to create any application, you have to have a Docker
Mm-hmm.
file for that one. Okay. So last class we have seen till over here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where we have to write a Docker file, then we have to convert the Docker file into Docker image, and then we have to run the Docker image into the Docker container. So these last two part, you already understood how to run
Mm-hmm.
from an image to a container.
Mm-hmm.
And every time when you run a Docker image, it will create a new container. And when you run in -it mode, it will create a interactive mode. Okay, great. One doubt I have to check that -d, why that one is not working correctly. Okay, the detach mode. I'll check into that one and we'll get back to you. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so to run any Docker image or to create a Docker image of your application, you need to write a Docker file, which look like this. Okay, it has a command like from, okay, copy, expose, or if it is the complex one, from per directory, copy, again what command you want to run, then copy, expose, and then again a command, whatever the command you want to run. Now let's understand us using a simple web app. Okay, you have an application which contain the HTML, CSS, JavaScript, any web app. So to run any web app, you required a server for that one. Okay, right? To run any web
Yes.
app on a web server, you required a web server.
Mm.
So we are using, you can use Apache or Nginx. These are the two web server you basically use to run your image, okay, or the website. So
So
mhm, how do you?
how do we use the servers? So like we have to uh,
s-
uh, go with IP to that server or
No, no, no. See, you have a standalone project which contain a website, and website is built
mm,
up of HTML, CSS, JavaScript, TypeScript, whatever. Okay. Now to
mm.
run that application, you require a server.
Okay,
Okay. Now you cannot have a server on this one
in Windows.
in Windows. Okay.
Got it. Yeah.
S- because you are creating an image out of it. So you need to have a server inside your Docker image.
Mm,
Got it? Because you are going to share this file with other people and they are not going to install server for your image, right?
mm,
So you have to have a base server, the foundation on which your application will run. So you have from HTTPD is the other name of Apache server. Okay. Alpine is the tag. So this one, what from command does, from command will search locally. Do you have Apache in your local? No. Then from command go to the Docker hub and take HTTPD Apache from there, from the Docker hub. So if I'll go over here, from command will come here. We'll then do HTTPD search and then look for this one, HTTPD. Now you can see Docker official image. So this is the correct image.
mm,
Okay. Now either you can see, you can copy this one. Okay. You can use this TRIXI, this tag, or you can use the Alpine tag. Okay. You can see the Alpine tag is over here, right?
mhm.
There's a lot of tag. These are the supportive tag. You can use any of this tag. So I'm just using simple Alpine tag. Okay. Same goes with if you want Nginx as your server, then replace HTTPD with Nginx. Got it? Understood what is the use of from keyword?
Mhm.
So from basically establish the foundation of your project on which your project will run. Then
Okay.
what do you want? You want to copy everything, means whatever the files of your application like index.html, script.css or script.js, every file should be copied to this directory of the server. In which directory you will copy? htdocs, that is inside the Apache. Or if you
mm,
are using Nginx, then you will copy all your local files to this Nginx HTML folder. Once you copy everything on this one, use the expose command. So expose command will run your application on port number 80. So
mm,
just by typing port number 80, your application will start running on port 80. Okay,
mm,
that's done. And then you have to save your file with the name of Docker file. Same should be name should be like this. First is capital, rest is small.
mm,
Okay, so your simple web application is ready. Means Docker file of a web application is ready. Now, if you compare with
mm,
a Python application, so
mm,
again you require Python to run your Python application. So we will install Python from the Docker Hub as a base image. What will be the working directory? You can create a working directory, okay, slash app, which will be inside this application, which will be inside this Python folder. Then you want to have a requirement.txt to be copied on this dot means it will be copied in your directory, working directory. If you have
mm,
this one, then only. If you don't, then remove this part. No worries. Then what do you want? You want to, if you have this one, then install every dependency that is mentioned in this file. So run is basically the command which will run the Python command. So run pip install. Either you can write no cache directory or simply docker pip run install -r and the requirement.txt. Since it is a file, so -r is there. Now, once that is done, so everything, whatever the libraries that came out, copy from everything to working directory, existing working directory. This dot is representing your slash app folder. And then you expose your application on port number 5000. So in browser, if you go and run
mm,
localhost colon 5000, your application will start running. But before running, every application required this command Python, whatever the application your name, we have this app, so app.py. So this cmd means command. So this command will run.
mm.
Understood the Docker file, how
Yes.
to write the Docker file?
Yeah. So every it doesn't matter like a big software or small software needs to be run by Dockers.
Uh, if it is going to be shared as a less size image, if your application is very 4 5 GB and you want to condense into a smaller one, make it independent of the OS, then go with the
Mm.
Docker 100%. Every microservice company uses Docker. All the company
Okay.
that uses Kubernetes should be using Docker 99%. Okay. So that's why these two are always in demand. Docker and Kubernetes always comes together. Got it? One is creating the container, other is orchestrating the container, is managing the container. So in Docker, we just create the containers. Okay. Who will manage it? Your Kubernetes will manage it. That we will discuss in our Kubernetes class. So understood the use of run command? Okay.
Yes.
We have the run keyword. We have this copy keyword. Okay. People also use add keyword too to add any HTML file, or add has an extra feature like the URL download. Basically, if you want to download this URL into any folder, you can use that one.
Mm,
Okay. But generally not too much use. Then work directory, basically create your work directory. Set the working directory for the subsequent further whatever the instruction will come for this one. Copy everything to slash app, right?
mm,
Then expose command will expose your application to a particular port number. Either it could be 80, 80,000, 443, anything. Could be anything. We'll see a lot. Okay. And then this is env command, basically to set the environment. Sometime when you install Python, you need to set the environment in the environment variable, right? Remember?
mm,
So this is for
yeah.
that one. Then command we have seen to run any command, this command python.app.py. Okay. You can simply run this way. In shell form, we write like this, but in Docker file, we have to write like this.
mm,
Okay, entry point always execute means this one has to execute. Okay, and this is the
mm,
first command will be first this command will execute, then only rest of the command will execute, and it
mm,
cannot be overridden. Okay, so easily until the people force it. Entry point is
mm,
very important. It basically the very first command that run your uh, application. Whatever you write inside this one will be get executed first. Then CMD will come into the picture. Okay. So sometimes people may ask you what is the difference between CMD and entry point. So entry point command is the very first command that is not overwritten and that always executes. Whereas CMD command, it's not necessary to be run firstly. Also, it can easily be overwritten. Okay, by other command. Got it?
yes,
So these are the most important questions that should, if with me, my initial days, this question was asked, what is the difference between CMD and entry point? And then they will also give you any Docker file. And then I'll ask you that, can you correct this Docker file? Can you create one Docker file for this application, for C++ application? Okay,
mm,
so when it comes to the interview, I'll also provide in the document as well that there are number of Docker files. Just go and study. Okay,
mm,
Docker scenario. So if you see, build this security. Uh, so see, as this is the application. Okay, and you are containerizing this application with strictly requirement. These are the requirement. Okay, so if you see from first node application, node is downloaded. Okay, then I'll find this is the total image for what? For this for every part.
mm,
For security, you download a different image. Okay. And then to cache, run your command. This is the command. Copy command, run command, copy, run. Okay. So mostly you see everything, all the command work directory.
mm,
Okay. So almost everything is known to you, like the CMD command. Health check is again there could be a lot more, but the one that I told you, that entry point, these are the main basic commands. Okay. And see, with this one, you can easily understand the whole Docker file.
mm.
Okay. So I'll share you this code. And this once we're done with the Docker, then I'll share you this one because right now you may get confused.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
So we'll keep our class up to this one. Okay. Let
Mm-hmm.
me just start the recording.